The stars were beautiful from far away. Up close, they burned. Humans knew this better than anyone. Long ago, Earth sent ships into the dark. Some never came back. Others found new homes on worlds that hated life. The galaxy called these places death worlds. Humans called them home. 400 years passed since the first faster-than-light engines woke up. The galactic Concord watched from their safe, gentle planets. Their worlds had soft air, low gravity, calm weather, and no giant predators waiting in the shadows. They built shining cities that floated on clouds. They spoke in soft voices. They lived long lives. To them, humans were strange. Humans came from a blue-green ball that was already hard. Then humans spread to worse places. Places with air that burned lungs. Places where the ground shook every day. Places where the sun cooked flesh in minutes. Places where creatures the size of houses hunted anything that moved. The Concord named these worlds Class 12 to Class 15, Death Class. No intelligent species could live there, they said. Only animals. Only monsters. Only things that did not belong in polite society. But humans stayed. On Virac 9, the air was thick poison. Yellow fog rolled across black sand. Breathing it made most aliens choke and die in seconds. Humans learned to breathe it. Children born there had lungs like filters. Their skin turned tough and gray. They called themselves the chokeborn. They laughed when outsiders wore masks and still fell. On Thanatos Prime, the jungles never slept. Trees grew thorns longer than swords. Beasts with 6 legs and jaws like traps moved through the green dark. The apex clans lived there. They hunted the hunters. They wore the skins of things that had tried to eat them first. They spoke in short words and trusted only their pack. On Tartarus 4, gravity crushed bones. Walking felt like carrying another person on your back. The air was thin and cold. The ground was iron and stone. The grav-forged people grew short and wide. Their bones became like steel. Their hearts pumped harder than engines. They lifted rocks that would break machines. They smiled when visitors from low-gravity worlds tried to stand and fell flat. On the Erebus cluster worlds, radiation rained from the sky. Skin peeled. Hair fell out. Most species died young. Humans changed. Their bodies learned to fix broken DNA while they slept. Scars glowed faint blue sometimes. They called it the burn. They wore it like a medal. The Concord did not understand. They sent scout ships now and then. They took humans away. Specimens, they called them. Strong backs for mines, bodies for testing new weapons, live targets for soldier training. Humans fought back at first. The Concord called it animal rage. They shocked them, chained them, broke them. After a while, most humans stopped fighting openly. They learned to wait. Raids became normal. Every few years, a Concord fleet appeared above a death world. They took thousands. They left warnings burned into the ground. Do not resist progress. Humans buried their dead. They rebuilt. They got stronger. Children grew up hearing the stories. Grandparents showed scars from chains. Mothers told tales of sisters taken to cold labs. Fathers pointed to empty chairs at dinner. Everyone knew the Concord ships would come again. No one knew when the last raid would be too much. It happened on Conquerors 5. Conquerors 5 was a red rock world. Thin air, dust storms that lasted months. Humans had lived there for 300 years. They dug deep cities under the stone. They grew food in caves lit by glowing moss. They raised tough children who could run for days without water. One morning the sky turned silver. 40 Concord harvest ships filled orbit. They were long and smooth, like silver fish. Their weapons glowed blue. No warning came, no message, just light. Beams fell from the sky. 3 cities vanished in fire. Stone melted. People turned to ash before they could scream. 2 million gone in less than 1 hour. Mothers holding babies, old ones who could barely walk, workers in the deep mines, all gone. The Concord Admiral opened a channel to every world in the galaxy. His voice was calm and clear. The Death World vermin have been culled. Let this serve as a reminder. The Concord brings order. Resistance brings only dust. The message ended. The fleet left. On the other Death Worlds, people watched the broadcast. They saw the Red World burn. They saw the faces of the dead flash on screens. They heard the Admiral's cold words. Silence fell first. Heavy silence. Then, anger came. On Virac 9, Shokeborn elders gathered in poison fog. Young ones stood around them. No one spoke loud. They did not need to. Their yellow eyes met. One old woman touched the scar on her throat from an old shot collar. She nodded once. On Thanatos Prime, Apex clans met under black trees. Blood still dried on their hands from the morning hunt. A scarred leader drew a claw across the dirt. He drew a simple shape, a human fist. Others added their claws. The dirt turned red. On Tartarus 4, grav-forged people stood in crushing gravity. They did not sit. Sitting hurt too much. A huge man with arms like tree trunks spoke low. They think we break easy. They never let us stand together before. Heads nodded. Metal-like bones creaked. On Erebus, burned ones glowed faintly in dark caves. Radiation made their skin shine. One woman with blue scars across her face whispered, "Enough surviving. Time to hunt." Across dozens of Death Worlds, the same thing happened. No big speeches, no flags, just quiet promises. Old encrypted radios turned on. Channels the Concord never found. Short messages in simple code. We see. We remember. We wait no more. The words spread like fire in dry grass. On Karos 5, survivors crawled from deep tunnels. Dust covered them. Blood ran from ears. A young girl, maybe 12, held a broken piece of metal like a sword. She looked at the sky, where the silver ships had been. She did not cry. She said one word. Enough. The galaxy did not hear it yet, but the Death Worlds did. And something old and patient inside every human woke up. It had slept for 400 years. Now it opened its eyes. The forging. After the red sky of Karos 5 burned, the Death Worlds changed. Not with noise or parades, with quiet work. With hands that moved fast and eyes that never rested. The old ones knew this moment had been coming for a long time. They had waited, not out of fear, out of patience. Patience is a weapon too. Now the waiting ended. First came the messages, short bursts on hidden radios, frequencies the Concord never scanned, because they thought Death World tech was broken junk. Words traveled from cave to cave, from jungle to wasteland. We are one now. No fancy title, no grand name at first. Then someone said it. The Reckoning. It stuck. Simple. True. One voice from each major Death World joined the council. They did not meet in person. Too dangerous. Concord spies were everywhere, even on dead rocks. They spoke through scrambled signals. Faces hidden, voices low. From Virac 9 came Mara. Her skin was gray stone. Her lungs rattled like dry leaves. She spoke first. They took my daughter 40 years ago, for tests. She died screaming in a clean white room. I want them to feel that. From Thanatos Prime came Reich. Tall, scars like maps on his arms. One eye gone, replaced by a red lens he took from a dead Concord scout. We hunt in packs, always have. Now the galaxy is the jungle. We will hunt there too. From Tartarus 4 came Kor, short, wide, arms thicker than most men's legs. Gravity had made him heavy in every way. They think strength is machines. We are the machine. We break what they build. From Erebos came Lyra. Skin glowed soft blue in the dark. Radiation had taken her hair long ago, left her eyes bright and sharp. They fear what they cannot control. We will show them control is an illusion. Others joined, voices from smaller colonies, ice worlds, acid seas, worlds the Concord marked as empty. All said the same thing. Enough. The reckoning made rules. 3 rules only. 1. No mercy shown. Mercy had let the Concord grow fat. 2. No prisoners taken. Prisoners talk. Dead men stay quiet. 3. Build in secret. Strike when they least expect. Then the work began. Humans had always been good at making do. On death worlds you learn fast, or you die. They took what the Concord left behind. Crashed scout ships, abandoned probes, wreckage from old battles the galaxy forgot. They dragged metal into deep caves, into black ocean trenches, into volcanic craters where lava glowed like blood. On Virac 9 they built in poison fog. Machines coughed and died. Humans did not. They made suits from their own shed skin mixed with rubber, suits that breathed the yellow air and kept the body alive. They turned Concord plasma cutters into welding torches. They made guns that fired shards of broken ship hulls at high speed. Simple, dirty, deadly. On Thanatos Prime, the Apex clans worked in the trees. They grew vines that could hide ships. Living camouflage. They trained animals to carry supplies through the jungle. Beasts that feared nothing. They made blades from the teeth of dead megafauna. Blades that cut metal like meat. They practiced in the dark, moving silent, killing silent. On Tartarus 4, they used the gravity itself. They built forges inside old mine shafts. Heat from the planet's core melted steel. They hammered armor plates thick as doors. Ships took shape. Ugly ships. No smooth lines like Concord vessels. Sharp angles. Thick hulls. Engines that roared like angry beasts. They tested them in the crushing pull. If a ship could fly from Tartarus, it could fly anywhere. On Erebus, they worked with radiation. They built reactors from Concord waste. Dangerous, but humans knew danger. They made bombs that spread glowing death. Bombs keyed to Concord DNA. Aliens would burn from the inside. Humans would walk through the fallout and smile. Everywhere, the same pattern. No big factories, no shining shipyards, small teams, hidden places, work done by hand and fire and hate. They stole more. Quiet raids on Concord supply runs, small ships taken, crews vanished, tech taken apart, studied, improved. Humans learned fast. They always had. New weapons appeared. Railguns. Long tubes that threw metal faster than sound, faster than light almost. Slugs punched through armor like paper. Boarding pods, small torpedoes with sharp noses, filled with warriors. They hit a ship and drilled in, then the killing started inside. Bioplagues, made from deathworld germs, things that ate lungs or skin or eyes, tuned to alien biology. Humans carried immunity from birth. Explosive gel, spread on hulls, stuck like mud, detonated on command, peeled ships open. They tested everything, on wrecks, on captured drones, on themselves sometimes. Pain was teacher. Scars were lessons. 2 years passed. 2 long years. The Concord saw signs. Reports came in. Increased activity on death worlds. Unusual energy readings. Missing supply ships. Analysts laughed. Primitives fighting each other. Let them waste their strength. High Command agreed. They have no navy, no unity, no threat. They were wrong. On the death worlds, unity grew. Not from love, from shared scars, from shared rage. Children learned new games. Games of hiding, of striking, of never being seen. Old ones taught war stories. Not the old ones of survival. New ones. Stories of what would come. One night on Virak 9, Mara stood on a black dune. Poison wind howled. She looked at the stars. Soft lights of Concord worlds twinkled far away. Safe, clean, weak. She spoke to the dark. You took from us, for centuries. You thought we were always take it. You thought we were animals. Teeth sharp. Now the animals remember how to bite. Across the death worlds, others felt the same. Weapons finished, ships ready, teams chosen. The reckoning waited for one signal. It would come soon. The galaxy slept. It dreamed of order, of peace, of control. It did not know the forge had finished its work. It did not know the hammer was raised, and when it fell, the stars would shake. The galaxy slept under a false peace. Concord worlds glowed with soft lights. Cities floated on calm seas. People walked clean streets and talked about art and trade. They believed the order would last forever. Then the first ship vanished. It was the Star of Harmony, a luxury liner full of high families, diplomats, rich traders, children of important houses. They were traveling from the core worlds to a festival on a pleasure moon. The ship was beautiful. White hull, crystal windows, no weapons, no need for them. It disappeared near the edge of the Erebus cluster. One moment on sensors, next moment gone. Hours later the black box sent a signal, not to Concord Command, to every open channel in the sector. The message played on screens across 100 worlds. Grainy video, inside the ship, elegant halls, flowers floating in zero-G. Then shadows moved. Humans. They wore armor patched from different metals, gray and black. No shining plates, just thick slabs that looked heavy. They carried guns that hummed low. They moved fast, too fast. A Concord guard raised his stun rifle. A human stepped forward. The guard fired. Blue light hit the human in the chest. Smoke rose. The human did not fall. He laughed, a short, hard laugh. Then he grabbed the guard by the neck, lifted him like a child, snapped the neck, dropped the body. More humans poured in. They tore through doors. They cut power lines. Lights died. Screams filled the halls. One human pulled a diplomat from a hiding place. The diplomat begged in 3 languages. The human listened, then spoke in clear galactic standard. You took my brother for your mines. He died in the dark. Now you pay. The video ended with the human turning to the camera. His face was calm, eyes cold. Send our regards to the high speaker. The signal cut. Then it grew. At the same time, on 12 border worlds, things happened. A mining station on Calyx Prime. Quiet night. Then alarms screamed. Small ships appeared from nowhere. No jump signatures. They had come in slow, hidden by asteroid shadows. They landed hard. Ramps dropped. Humans ran out. Apex clans from Thanatos. They moved like wolves. Silent, fast. Guards died before they could shout. The station burned. Fuel tanks exploded. The sky turned orange. On a supply depot near the Veil Nebula, Concord freighters waited to unload food and parts. Humans came from below. They had dug tunnels under the ice moon, emerged at night, took the control tower in minutes, loaded what they needed, left bombs in the reactors. When they left, the depot became a small sun. Every raid was the same, quick, brutal, no long battles. Hit, take, burn, leave. They did not hold ground. They did not claim planets. They broke things the Concord needed. Logistics died, piece by piece. Concord admirals met in emergency session. Holograms flickered in the great chamber. Voices rose. Primitives, one shouted, with stolen tech. Barbarians. We must respond with full force. The high speaker raised a hand. His skin was pale silver, his eyes narrow. Calm, We will send the cleansing fleet, 30,000 ships. We will burn their nests to ash. They voted. All agreed. But the raids did not stop. A Concorde battlecruiser patrolling the outer rim found something strange. A small human ship drifting. No power, no life signs. The cruiser pulled it in with tractor beams. Engineers boarded. Inside they found nothing. No crew, just a timer. The bomb went off inside the hangar. It ripped the cruiser open. Secondary explosions followed. Broadcast its death scream across open channels. Humans left messages on the wrecks. Simple words carved into metal or burned into hulls. We remember Keros 5. You culled us. Now we cull you. Survivors from the raids told stories. They spoke of humans who fought in vacuum with no suits. Skin blackened but kept moving. Humans who took plasma burns to the face and kept fighting. Humans who smiled while they killed. One survivor, a young officer, sat shaking in a medical bay. He spoke to investigators. They are not people. They are something else. They do not fear death. They welcome it, like old friends. Word spread. Whispers in bars, in homes, in schools. Deathworlders. The old word, forbidden for centuries. Now people said it again, quiet at first, then louder. The Concorde tried to control the news. They blocked channels. They arrested people who spoke too much. Fear moved faster than sensors. On a peaceful world called Lyrian, children played in parks. A teacher told them the official story. The death worlds are wild. The Concorde protects us from them. A small boy looked up. And why are the death worlders winning? The teacher had no answer. In the dark between stars, human ships moved. Not many. Not big fleets yet. Small groups. Hidden. They used tricks the Concorde never thought of. They flew close to neutron stars. Gravity bent light. Sensors went blind. They hid in black hole shadows. Radiation storms covered their trails. They slingshot around dead suns. Paths no Concorde pilot would dare. They appeared where no one expected. A Concorde listening post on a gas giant moon. Humans landed in the storm clouds. Climbed the lightning towers. Took the data core. Left a virus that sent false reports for weeks. All clear. No activity. The Concorde believed it. They were wrong. On Virac 9, Mara watched the reports come in. Poison fog curled around her. She smiled. They think we are insects. Insects to be stepped on. She turned to her people. Soon we show them. Insects bite. Insects swarm. Insects can kill gods. On Tartarus 4, Core tested a new boarding pod. It screamed through the crushing gravity. Hit a test hull. Drilled in. Warriors poured out. They practiced in the dark tunnels, learning every weak point of Concorde ships. On Thanatos Prime, Reich led a hunt. Not animals this time. They hunted Concorde drones that flew too close. They brought them down with nets of vines and spears. Took the parts. Learned more. On Erebus, Lyra mixed new plagues. Small vials glowed green. She whispered to them, like children. You will find new homes soon. In soft lungs, in clean blood. The galaxy felt the change. Trade slowed. Ships stayed in port. Prices rose. People hoarded food. Fear grew. The Concorde promised safety. They sent more patrols, bigger fleets. Nothing helped. Every time a ship vanished, every time a station burned, the stories grew. Humans did not conquer yet. They just reminded everyone. The dark still had teeth, and the teeth were sharp, and they were coming closer. The reckoning unleashed. The Concorde could not wait any longer. Fear had spread like poison through their perfect worlds. Trade stopped. Ships stayed docked. Citizens looked at the sky and wondered if the next shadow would bring death. The High Speaker called for the final cleansing. 30,000 ships gathered at the edge of human space. Battlecruisers, carriers, destroyers, all shining silver, all perfect lines. Engines hummed soft and clean. Crews stood tall in crisp uniforms. They believed this show of force would end the nightmare. They pointed their weapons at the death worlds. Sensors swept the dark. Nothing moved. No fleets, no armies, just quiet rocks and poison air. The admiral smiled. Primitives hide. We will burn them out. Orders went out. Advance. Glass the nests. Then the stars answered. Human ships appeared like ghosts, not from jump points, not from normal space. They came from places the Concorde never looked. Close orbits around neutron stars. Shadows of black holes. Paths where gravity twisted light and sensors screamed error. The first human ship was small, ugly, patched hull thick with black ablative armor. It looked like junk. It moved like a predator. It fired once. A railgun slug. Depleted uranium. Moving so fast, it bent space a little. The slug hit a Concorde destroyer in the engine core. The ship folded in half. Fire bloomed silent in vacuum. No time for screams. More came. Dozens. Then hundreds. Ships built in volcanic caves, in deep ocean trenches, in radiation storms. No two looked the same. Some short and wide, some long and spiked, all ugly, all angry. They did not form neat lines like Concorde fleets. They swarmed, they darted, they used gravity wells to swing fast, they used debris fields for cover. They fought dirty. The Concorde fired back. Lasers, plasma, missiles, beautiful weapons, deadly. But humans did not die easy. A Concorde cruiser locked weapons on a human dreadnought, the Endurance. Forged in Tartarus IV's burning core. Thick hull, meters of armor, engines that roared like thunder, even in space. The cruiser fired everything. Beams carved lines across the Endurance. Armor melted. Plates glowed red. Holes opened. The Endurance did not stop. It accelerated. Straight at the cruiser. 0.4 times the speed of light. Too fast to dodge. It rammed. The impact was a new sun. The cruiser vanished in white fire. The Endurance broke apart. But the fusion torch ram kept burning. It tore through 3 more ships before it died. Humans cheered in their cockpits. Short, hard cheers. Then back to work. Boarding began. Small pods shot from human ships. Sharp noses. Spinning drills. They hit Concorde hulls and punched through like knives in flesh. Then hatches opened. Warriors poured in. Grav forged from Tartarus came first. Short. Heavy. Muscles like steel cables. They ignored point defense fire. Bullets bounced off thick armor. They tore bulkheads with bare hands. Metal screamed. Chokeborn followed. Gray skin. Yellow eyes. They exhaled poison gas into corridors. Concorde crew coughed. Fell. Clutched throats. Chokeborn walked through the clouds. Unharmed. They cut down the ones still standing. Apex clans moved in shadows. Zero-G did not slow them. They hunted crew like prey in the jungle. Silent steps. Claws out. One by one, officers died. Throats opened. Bodies left floating. Burned ones from Erebus brought glowing vials. They cracked them open. Green mist spread. Concorde's skin blistered. Eyes melted. Humans walked through it. Their bodies fixed the damage as they fought. One boarding team reached the bridge of a Concorde flagship. The captain stood tall. "You are animals. You have no right." The lead human stepped forward. Scarred face. Calm voice. "We have every right. You made us this way." He raised his gun. Fired once. The captain fell. They took the bridge. Sent a message to the fleet. Surrender or die. Many Concorde ships tried to run. Humans chased. Cut engines. Boarded. Killed. In hours the Concorde lost a third of their capital ships. Burning hulks drifted. Escape pods launched. Humans let some go. Not kindness. They wanted survivors to tell stories. Stories spread fast. On Concord core worlds, people watched live feeds, saw their shining ships break, saw humans move through fire and vacuum, saw them smile while bleeding. Panic became terror. High Command ordered retreat. Too late. Human sleeper cells woke up. Humans who had lived quiet lives among the stars. For generations, they worked as cleaners, mechanics, traders. No one suspected. Now they acted. On a major shipyard moon, a human mechanic slipped a virus into the main computer. Cranes froze, welders exploded, half-built ships collapsed. In a command center on a garden world, a human cook poisoned the water supply. Officers fell sick, decisions slowed. In a Senate building, an old human janitor left a small bomb under a table. It went off during session. Glass rained. Leaders died. The Concord illusion broke. The high speaker called for peace talks. White flags, neutral station. They waited. Human ships arrived. Not many, just enough. A single transport landed. Ramp dropped. Deathworlders stepped out. Mara from Virac 9. Gray skin, poison breath held back. Reich from Thanatos, one red eye, claws sharp. Kor from Tartarus, wide as two men, steps shook the floor. Lyra from Erebus, blue glow under skin. They walked forward. No need. The Concord delegation trembled. A high speaker spoke first, voice shaking. We seek terms. Kor answered. Low rumble. Terms are simple. He listed them. Free every human world you hold. Return every abducted human, alive or names of the dead. Pay in raw materials, enough to rebuild what you burned. And one rule. He leaned close. Never set foot on a death world again. The high speaker swallowed. And if we refuse? Mara smiled. Teeth like stone. Then we do not stop. Silence fell. The Concord signed. Ships left human space. Fast. On the death worlds, people watched the news, saw the terms. They did not cheer loud. They nodded. They knew. The galaxy had learned. Humans were not vermin. Humans were not animals. Humans were the thing that survived when nothing else could. And when pushed too far, they pushed back. Harder. The reckoning was not over. It had just begun. The galaxy held its breath. Peace talks ended on the neutral station. Concord ships left human space fast. Engines burned hot. They did not look back. The white flag still waved in the cold dark, but no one cared anymore. On the death worlds, people gathered in caves, under black trees, in crushing gravity halls, in glowing radiation pits. They watched the feeds on cracked screens, saw the Concord delegation sign the papers, saw the terms read out loud, saw their leaders walk away without a fight. No big cheers rose, no flags waved, just quiet nods, hands touched shoulders, eyes met. The weight of 400 years started to lift. Not all at once, slow, like ice melting under a weak sun. Children asked questions. Are they really gone? Mothers answered soft. For now, yes. Fathers added, but we stay ready. The Reckoning Council met one last time over hidden channels. Her voice rattled like dry poison wind. We won the battle, not the war. They will remember fear. Fear lasts longer than treaties. Reich nodded. His red eye glowed. They will test us again, one day. We make sure they fail. Kor rumbled deep. We build stronger now, not just to survive, to make sure no one tries again. Lyra smiled. Blue light danced on her scars. And we tell the stories, true stories, so the young never forget. The council ended. No ceremony, just silence. Then each went back to their world. Life returned, different now. On Virac 9, the Chokeborn cleared new caves, deeper, safer. They planted food that grew in poisoned soil. Children ran through yellow fog without masks. They laughed loud. Their lungs were strong. Their skin tough. They played games of hiding from pretend Concord ships. When they won, they shouted, "Enough." On Thanatos Prime, the Apex clans hunted less for food. They tracked old Concord drones left behind. Brought them down clean. No waste. Young ones learned to move silent, to strike first, to never be seen until it was too late. Elders watched and remembered their own youth. Scars told the same story. On Tartarus 4, the Grav-Forged built new forges. Bigger, hotter. They made ships again. Not ugly patched things this time. Cleaner lines, but still thick armor. Still strong engines. They tested them in the heavy pull. Ships rose slow at first, then fast. They broke atmo and vanished into black. People below looked up, smiled. Ours now. On Erebus, the burned ones worked in quiet labs. They studied old Concord tech, improved it, made shields against radiation, made medicine from their own glowing blood. Children born now had less scars, brighter futures, but they still learned the old ways, how to fix broken genes, how to walk through fire, how to never break. Across the death worlds, humans traded more. Ships moved between planets. Not many. Small. Careful. They carried metal, seeds, knowledge, weapons too, just in case. The galaxy watched. Concord worlds stayed quiet. Trade started again. Slow, careful. Ships avoided death world space. No one spoke the old words loud. Vermin, primitives, those words tasted bitter now. Other species whispered. The death worlders did not conquer. They did not need to. They just stopped us. Stories grew. In bars on far stations. In schools on garden worlds. Teachers spoke careful now. The Concord learned respect. Respect through strength. Children asked, why did the humans wait so long? Teachers answered honest. Because they could afford to wait. They lived where nothing else could. Time made them harder. One old alien, a retired admiral, sat alone in a dim room. He watched old footage. Karos 5 burning. Human boarding teams tearing through his old ship. He touched the scar on his arm. A human blade had left it. He spoke to the empty air. We thought we were the top. We were wrong. He smiled, sad. They were always the top. They just didn't care to prove it, until we made them. Years passed. On a small moon near the Erebus edge, a human girl sat on red rock. She was 12. Same age as the girl on Karos V who said enough that day long ago. She looked at stars. Bright, cold, many. Her grandfather sat beside her. Old scars, gray hair. He pointed to a faint light. That one, Concord homeworld. They still shine, but they know now. The girl asked, will they come back? Grandfather thought, maybe, one day. Greed does not die easy. She nodded, then we will be ready. He put a hand on her shoulder. We always were. Sharp. Good. Far away on a trade station, a Concord merchant met a human captain. First time in years. The human was tall, calm. No armor, just simple clothes. The merchant spoke careful. Your people. They trade fair now. The captain nodded. We always did, when left alone. The merchant looked down. We were wrong. The captain looked at him long. Yes, you were. No more words. The merchant left. The captain stayed. Watched ships come and go. He thought of Karos 5, of lost faces, of chains, of fire. Then he thought of now. Free worlds, strong children, ships that flew their own way. He whispered to himself, we had enough. The galaxy turned, stars burned steady. Humans lived on death worlds, thrived, watched. They did not conquer the stars. They did not need to. The stars knew their name now. Deathworlders. Not a curse anymore. A warning. And somewhere, in quiet moments, humans smiled. The invaders were gone. But the humans, they were just getting started.